Hi, today I thought I'll share a quick 4 tips about how to choose your wedding photographer. Wedding is once in a lifetime event, right? And to have someone capture your day as something that you will cherish for the rest of your life is quite important. There are so many variables to choose from, and it doesn't just come down to taking good photos, right? There are a lot of different things to consider. I want to give you guys sort of like 4 steps, 4 things that you should consider when you're deciding on your wedding photo. Number one, their photography style. I want to start with saying always start with your wedding venue style. You probably have a wedding venue already. You probably know the style of the wedding that you want to resemble. And choosing a photographer who can deliver that sort of style is important. There's so many different things when it comes to style, but one thing that I like to recommend the most is, does the photographer's style resemble almost like that photographer is with you guys? Does it feel like that photographer is really close? Does it feel like the photographer is really close with you guys? Or does it feel like the photographer is a little bit too far out, but still it's beautifully taken? The first option is more candid, enjoying the party together. Number two is more of a journalistic and documentary style photos. Either or, they're both, you have to be very well experienced photographer to deliver either of the photo style. Number two, experience and expertise. There are all the wedding experts on the wedding day, including wedding photographer, all the other vendors. We know how to save the wedding. Sometimes those are small disasters, sometimes they're real disasters, but it's still part of your day. It's something you can look back on and probably will laugh at in a while. Um, but having an expert, having someone who have dealt with so many different type of weddings will save your day and will help you throughout the day. And having, if your wedding has some type of niche, but having someone who is expert in that specific field will help your wedding go along a lot easier and also take amazing photos that way as well. Number three, personality and communication. Personality and communication is something I value quite a lot. And this is one of the reasons that I talk to my couples multiple times before the wedding. We have to get along. We're not forcing to get along, but we just click and we get along really well. Usually couples who get along really well with the photographer always have, one, will have so much more fun. Two, will result in so much better images as well, because we as a photographer know exactly what the couple wants. Even the most experienced photographer will not be able to read minds. We'll just do it by instinct. If there are multiple photos and images that you like, that's amazing. But if there's a certain type of photos or certain things throughout the day you want to communicate with your wedding photographer, good communication and having a good personality is always nice. Of course, you spend the majority of the day with your photographer on your wedding day. So it's always nice to get along really well. Yes. Number four, packages and pricing are all very different. So I always say, before you look at any of the wedding photographers' package pricing on their website, jot down a few things that are important to you, like the number of hours of photos, number of hours for the videos, wedding albums, wedding prints, wall arts, all that sort of stuff, like how many photos are getting delivered, how the photos are getting delivered. So all these things, like, is the travel fee included in the packages? When you write a few things down, you will have a clear comparison. You'll be able to compare the photographer's packages and see if the pricing is within your budget or you are willing to spend more on. Fun fact, apparently 6% of couples under budget for their photography. You don't have to budget more like at this point in time, but you can just have it in mind that this could be a little bit more than what you had in mind. So yes. And a few other things to consider is definitely check out their testimonials. What do other couples say about? Focus on some of the keywords other couples have said. Like, is it the quality of the images they love? Is it their personality? Is it their creative suggestions? How they save the day? Try to see what are some of the common keywords at all the testimonials that's been written. And then And a few tips I want to include is one, meet in person. These days with me, especially, I do a lot of destination weddings, so I cannot meet people, meet couples in person, but have Zoom meeting, have a few meetings in anywhere possible. By having more meetings, a little bit more time than like 15-minute conversation, be more like 1 hour conversation and try to really talk about what's important to them. Not in terms about the photography, someone to hire as a job, but in terms of what are some of the common interests and what are some of the places that you guys have traveled together. So by asking different questions, like asking the photographer what are some good places they've traveled that they can recommend to, all that sort of stuff, almost it feels like it's not relevant to the wedding day or to that shoot. It will give you a sense of comfortness by knowing the photographer a little bit more. So asking a lot of questions, and asking questions is always a good idea. A lot of couples are scared to ask questions, especially if the photographer is more experienced. But I can tell you one thing for sure is that more experienced photographer they are, love getting the questions from couples because we don't know what couples want. We can sense what couples know, but that doesn't mean it's 100% correct. So by knowing what couples are thinking, what couple want in terms of type of shoot, in terms of asking different opinions for different things, even if you feel like it's irrelevant, ask the question. The photographer will love to be involved with you guys for planning the wedding or giving any kind of 2 cents for the wedding. So ask a lot of questions. Lastly, with any kind of decision making, always trust your gut instinct. If you feel like this photographer is a little bit more money and this photographer is a little bit less, but you feel like the quality of work is about the same, but you want to go with someone a little bit more expensive, you cannot really explain why, then I would definitely suggest to go with someone that you feel comfortable. Because if something were to go wrong, if anything were to go wrong, it may be completely irrelevant to the photography side of things. The first thing that you will think of is that you didn't go with someone you really wanted to. That burden will give you stress. So always follow your gut instinct. Hopefully all these tips were not super obvious. If you have any more questions that you would like me to discuss more in details, definitely leave comments below. You can text me, you can email me. Hopefully this video was helpful. Thank you.